talk to you about what you can't do a 1031 on. You cannot do a 1031 exchange on anything but real estate.
So no airplanes.
Used to be able to do airplanes, used to be able to do printing presses and anaerobic digesters and all kinds of business equipment. But after 2018, it's only real estate.
Okay.
Next, you can't do exchanges on personal use property. So if you have a home that you live in and it's your domicile, you can't do a 1031 exchange on your domicile. Now, we don't really care because there's Section 121, which is the principal residence exclusion, which excludes $500,000 for a married couple or $250,000 for a singleton if they satisfy the ownership and use tests. So that's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that 1031 is not able to be used for are flips or inventory. Property that's been held primarily for resale does not qualify for 1031. And so,
How long would you have to hold the property if it was a flip that you rented?
now if you took it out of inventory and maybe put a tenant in there and rented it for a while, now you've changed your use from inventory to rental business purposes. And I think now you're back in the strike zone for a 1031. There is some authority from the IRS in an informal private letter ruling from like 2 decades ago that 2 years is an adequate period of time to rent something. But I think there are instances where you could hold a property much shorter than 2 years and still do a 1031 exchange if you had the requisite intent to hold it for investment or business purposes.
So if you bought a house, let's say you got a great value on it, you cleaned it up, rented it for a year, but your intent was to rent it and then sell it. Are we getting close to that adequate or no?
Let's say that you did a 1031 exchange and you sold your trucking business location and moved further out into the suburbs where you could have more land and less government regulation for your trucking business. And let's say it was like up in Anoka where there was this old armory and there was talk after you acquired it that the Minnesota Vikings were going to create a training center on this land right adjacent to where you purchased your property. And now out of the blue, people are offering you 4 times what you paid for the property, and you legitimately bought it for your trucking business. You took long-term commercial loans. You got your trucks on the location. You're legitimately holding it for investment or business.